There we go. Nice. Hello. Oh, good gracious. What happened? What happened to me? No. Why can't you see me? Hello. Don't do it. There we go. Ohayo Tori. Kikoeri.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Hibi. I draw. That's all I do actually. I just draw.
That's it. All right. Well, no, that's not true. You stream too.
Yeah, but I just stream myself drawing.
Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. That's it. That's all she does. She doesn't even
Go,
eat.
man.
She doesn't eat or breathe. She just.
Well, I
she
can't.
Just
I'm dead.
Oh. Damn. Same.
My lore is I'm a ghost.
Oh. See, another epic lore reveal. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Ghost, you dingus. Shut up, Wim. I didn't ask you. You're not the one up here. So. All right. Well, welcome to the next installment of D&D character creation. Our fourth player is, as you all have no doubt guessed, Hibi. I'm very, very excited.
Yes.
Hibi was like one of the first people I asked because I can't remember when this happened. I think we were just hanging out with Taicho and I just like passingly talked about D&D and she was like,
I've always wanted to try, but I don't have friends to play with.
well, now you can't.
But I
say
made
that.
friends.
Yeah, you can't say that anymore. That's not true.
I made friends.
It's a lie. It's a lie. I can't believe you'd lie to my viewers like that.
I'm sorry.
Alrighty. So, the start of this is the same as everybody else. We're going to start with kind of the character idea you had. Now, before the stream, we talked quite a bit about like what that could look like, but for the sake of everybody else, why don't you introduce your concept and like the three big things you want to like maintain or talk about with that concept.
Yes, so most of my character ideas is from my own character from Final Fantasy XIV. I play White Mage with my static group, but I'm kind of salty sometimes, so I don't want to heal them if it means it has to take out of my own MP. So I want to keep that because that is the only playing style I have.
Respectable.
I do value my own DPS over my own healing.
Well, there
So
we have
if
it.
you die, just don't.
Just
Simply don't.
All right. Here's our. I guarantee you, this is gonna be our main source of healing too. And it's gonna be like every 2 minutes. I guess.
I guess.
Yeah. Imagine getting hit by undodgeable AoEs, and then she's just sitting like 2 miles away, like, stop it.
You could have dodged that.
You could have dodged it. You could just get good. Okay, so you want to be the salty healer, which thankfully is not very hard to recreate.
I don't deliberately kill them, but I do let them cling on to their very last HP, have their butthole clench a little, and then I just like drop all my beefy heals on them, edging, if you will.
That's like kinky in the worst way possible. Oh god. I'm starting to think that maybe the Dragon Queen isn't so bad. At least she's upfront about it. Yabai desu. Indeed. Wakaru. God, that was cringy. All right. What's another big trait of yours?
Ironically, I did start off as like a heal slut. I would do nothing but heal. And yeah, I would literally do nothing but heal. Like, oh, tank only gets a scratch. Oh, my big beefy heals.
So like, you know, maybe you're in your character backstory, maybe you were like a medic or something, and you were like, I'll protect all the adventurers, and then like so many people kept coming to you for free heals. You're just like, okay, this has to stop.
Yeah, can't deal with this. You
I
guys
can't
eat
do
too
it.
much at my MP. Healthcare in Canada is free, but my MP isn't.
It literally regenerates. What are you talking about? You have a size lucid. Oh god. Okay, and then do you have a third one, perhaps?
Yes. I mean, despite being like very salty, I'm not being salty because I hate you guys. I just like keeping you guys on the edge. Makes things a little spicy in the dungeons.
So, you're just a sadist then.
In a sense, I guess.
Okay. Let's move
Let's move on.
Let's move on. On to the next segment. All right. So, go ahead and open up the character sheet labeled Hibi.
Yes.
And we're going to use the character mancer.
Nice.
Let me know when you've gotten to the character mancer screen where it says start.
Okay. Oh, yes. So do I just press the start button?
Do you see the like welcome to the character mancer? Your compendium awaits. Get starting by clicking next.
Oh, I gotta click next. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am on the race tab.
Sweet. So, you mentioned to me that you wanted to be a cat girl. Now, like
Yes,
I told
I do.
you before, there's a few ways we can go about this.
Okay.
That I described to you before the stream. You can either be like a full-on like Khajiit has done nothing wrong. You can again be like a werecat where you're like a cat girl, and then you can get angry, and then turn into like an actual cat person. Or I can dig out my rules from Ootori.
I do like to stay as an eternal cat girl. 24/7 the cat ears stay on.
Yeah. Not a headband.
It's not a headband.
Okay, so that means that you can pick the shifter race, and then just never transform.
Nice.
Or we can, again, dig out the other rules.
Shifter.
Oops, that's the wrong one.
Shifter.
Yeah, shifter is kind of towards the bottom of the list, right above Simic Hybrid. As I kind of mentioned before, the whole idea is that they have like a primal beast within them. In your case, it would be a cat. So you would be faster than the average person, a little bit more agile. And then again, you have the ability to just kind of, go full anger mode and then become like a cat person. That's more feral.
So I do keep the human traits until I get angry.
Yeah. And it's not like a werewolf where you have like the full moon and then you turn into a cat or whatever. It's as a bonus action on your turn, you just kind of let go, you let into this anger, or whatever it is you choose to describe it as, and you just become a cat person. And it lasts, you stay transformed for 1 minute or until you choose to end it. I play a maid cat girl that is one of these. And, the whole idea is that, they're a maid cat girl, but then like, when the young master gets like seriously injured, then I tear off the maid uniform and then start running around and I eat people.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
Yeah. Like
I want to eat people.
I actually eat people. Were you memeing right then?
Yeah. For the record, in real life, I'm not a cannibal, but in D&D, I might.
Well, can you be a cannibal as a ghost?
Oh, technically not. Like unless I eat other ghosts, but
yeah. So like, wouldn't it just be like
a nice midnight snack? Yeah.
Let me give me a second.
Sorry, you need a moment to take that in, huh?
Yeah, I think we can just There we go. There we go. All right. That's nice. Okay.
No, I'm so far from you.
Yeah, wow, how did that happen? That's crazy.
You can put me on your desk. You can downsize me. I can be marketable size.
Alright, oh, whoops, that's not what I meant. Alright, let's put you into a marketable plushie size. Alright, and then we'll put you right there. There we go. But I want people to like see your face because you're really cute.
Thank you.
Yeah. I said it.
Well, the good thing about my PNG is I can be put anywhere.
Yeah, it's you look very comfy. So
I am very
Mrs.
comfy.
Actual Cannibal.
Yes.
I mean, so kind of getting back to the race, you know, is eating people a thing that you would actually like to do?
Oh, I can. Oh my god, I can actually choose to eat people?
I mean,
Oh.
you can technically eat whatever you want. But, I mean, choosing the shifter race would be kind of, again, your transformation is a lot more bestial, a lot more feral. So, you would kind of describe it, or standard D&D would describe it as your blood is partially cursed.
Okay.
And that's kind of what gives you that transformation. Yeah, etchy, sketchy, wantachi. So yeah, I mean, if you want to like kind of have the, I wouldn't really say like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, or like a Frankenstein's monster kind of ordeal, but you basically Hulk out whenever you transform. You get temporary HP, which can be described as just like your constitution is just better than most, and you sort of ignore the first few bits and pieces of pain when people like stab at you or something. You definitely.
I think it'll be interesting. Sometimes I'm tired of being nice. Sometimes I do want to go absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely something really cool, especially if your character is like somewhat good about keeping up appearances. And you know, maybe you're a very gentle kind of, you know, average looking cat girl, but then, you know, if people see you transform, they're gonna be like, oh my god, you know, Jesus
Look
Christ,
at me,
how horrifying.
Hazukashi.
Well, yeah, it'd be a lot of spooky shit.
Nice,
so
nice.
you're going to pick the shifter. Now let's
Yes.
talk about alignment. I've already been permanently disappointed by Miyu, so I don't think you could possibly do worse. You've already stated that you don't really intend to go out of your way to heal people. However,
If it comes to it, I
if
will.
you saw a random person bleeding out on the side of the road, would you expend a spell slot to heal them?
It depends on what I have to do. If I have to keep my own party members alive, I will put my party
No,
members.
just like you're
above.
traveling around and you just happen to see it.
Oh, I'm on my day off? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sprinkle a little bit of resurrection on them.
Yeah. If you were in the middle of a battle and two of your party members go down, one of them is
Okay.
like an actual member of your party, and then the other is like kind of like somebody that you're basically being paid to protect.
Oh, okay. So they're paying me.
Yeah. Like which one do you heal first, if any at all?
The party member isn't paying me, right?
No, but you have traveled with them for a little while. Like you know, you're at least passingly acquainted.
Okay. Unfortunately, since I am being paid to do a job.
Now, I should clarify. You have the ability to bring them both up. It's which one that you get first.
Oh, okay. Which one will be more useful?
Wow, that's up to you.
Let's say, when and they can self-heal, right? I would definitely
Right.
raise them first. But if it was Miyu who can't heal, sorry, I gotta raise the other person.
Oh, okay. So it's how well they can protect themselves after being healed. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think my biggest pet peeve is raising someone
and then they just instantly die.
and I'm just like, oh, sir.
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 Okay, that's pretty reasonable. And now the last thing I want to ask, if brought down to it, if you had the option to either heal yourself or a party member that is on the verge of going down, like whoever you don't heal is going to go down, who do you choose?
It depends on who's dying.
Well,
See, if Wim dies, I will raise him. I die, and then he can potentially raise me back.
Okay. So it once more falls down to who's capable of also healing.
Yes, it's definitely about upkeeping the utility of the party.
So we'll call you neutral good.
Yes.
The reason is that you are self-serving. I mean, your loyalties are ultimately to yourself, but you are not necessarily selfish. You're just to you it's all about the efficiency. You are a good person so long as it like benefits you in a meaningful way.
Yes, sounds about right.
Okay. Thank God.
What was Miyu's alliance? Alignment?
Yeah. So your alignment would be neutral good. Again, you don't go out of your way to do nice things, but it would be way more of a hassle for you to be an asshole.
Yes.
Especially because that also lowers your chances of your party members raising you.
Yes.
So, your speed is 30 feet. We already talked about the shifting. The thing that you shift into is called a long tooth. So when you scroll all the way down, you see like the language proficiencies. You can speak, read, write, and common. And then you have dark vision, which means that you can see really well in the dark.
Ooh, okay.
So subrace, you're gonna choose swift stride. And again, this is a lot of like cat people, basically.
Nice.
So the swift stride gives you proficiency in acrobatics, so you're just naturally graceful. And when you are shifted, your speed increases by 10 feet, so you go from 30 to 40. Additionally,
nice.
Whenever an enemy ends, whenever anybody ends their movement right next to you, like within 5 feet of you, you can just move up to 10 feet as a reaction. So like if an enemy starts creeping up on you, you can just back up. The big important part is this last sentence that says, this reactive movement does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Normally, whenever an enemy moves out of melee range, or you move out of melee range of an enemy, they have the opportunity to kind of smack you while you're running away. If you use this feature to move, they don't get that ability.
Ooh, nice.
All right. Sick. So that's your race. As for your class, of course we talked at length about this, that you wanted to be a healer, but you also wanted to be able to deal damage.
Yes.
And that you wanted your healing abilities to not be tied to spells.
Yes.
Because you want to use spells to deal damage and have healing on the side. And I believe we determined that the warlock was the best way to go about this. Is that still the case? Because you can also choose to play a cleric, or if you're more willing to sacrifice spells for healing, the sorcerer is still available to you.
No, I think I'm pretty locked on to the warlock.
Okay.
I do like to keep my skills separate.
All right. So the warlock is proficient with simple weapons, so things like daggers, short swords, clubs, and you can wear up to light armor. You can now choose 2 skills. that kind of describe things that you would be good at after becoming like an adventurer. So once you've gained your power and otherwise realized that you had it and could use it, you know, what would be the kind of skills that you think you would be interested in?
Okay, so Arcana seems interesting.
Yeah, it's like your knowledge of magic in general.
Ooh, might need that. What is investigation?
Investigation is kind of your ability to like deduce things in a specific area. If perception is your general understanding of things like vaguely around you, investigation is you specifically saying, I want to look at this. The example that I gave to Miyu is that perception would be you asking me, I want to find the most expensive jewelry in the city. Now, if you found a jeweler's house and then said, I want to find the most expensive jewel in this house, that would be investigation.
Oh, okay. Would Arcana and investigation work well together?
Well, yeah, it definitely could. Usually, though, if you were to like really examine a magical object, you could roll investigation, but you're almost always better off rolling Arcana. They are both intelligence-based skills, so it kind of reflects your character's knowledge on the subject. So investigation might tell you that there are like, you know, specific runes that might match up with runes that you've seen before, where Arcana would tell you, oh, it's enchanted with this kind of magic, or it gives off an aura similar to this spell, etc., etc. I think that they are both plenty good skills, to be sure, but...
What about deception?
Deception is any obfuscation of the truth, like anything. So if you tell partial truths, that's deception. As long as your character is aware that you're holding back information, it's your ability to kind of manipulate people that things are the way that they are. You know, when we play Among Us, and somebody decides to coin flip, you know, they're in a group of 3 and the imposter kills one, instantly reports it and was like, I just saw this guy kill this person. Obviously the imposter is lying. They would be rolling deception to convince everybody else that it's the other person.
Well, I guess since I am neutral good, I don't really find the need to be deceptive.
Yeah, I mean, what you don't give a shit about is not something that you you keep to yourself.
Yeah.
Unless you want to create this persona where everybody thinks of you as like the very cute and buttony like healer that'll help everybody, and then as soon as you leave town, you just point a gun to their back of their head and be like, all right, listen, all you got to do is just not get hit.
Man, that's how I find parties too.
You just advertise yourself like, ooh boo, white mage looking for group. Jesus. Oh,
and it goes in. It's like, all right, listen here.
My parse is what matters.
I will keep my uptime, even if it costs you your life.
Some of you may die. That is a sacrifice I am willing to make.
It is a small price.
Oh my god, you're
my
one of those,
9k damage.
You're one of those people that takes an Astro as a co-healer, but demands that they give you all the cards.
Not really. I'm more of just like, oh, well, my swift cast is off. I cannot raise you right now.
Oh, shame.
Oh, shame.
Shame.
I guess deception if we're gonna go for that route.
Well, that's if you want to do something like that. I mean, again, Arcana and Investigation are plenty good. And to be fair...
It would be good to get deals off the market if you're just a small white mage.
That's true. That is definitely true. However, it is worth letting you know that if your party members are aware that you're kind of a psycho about the way that you heal, they may or may not be more or less willing to throw you under the bus, as it were.
Listen here. we gotta save some money at the market. I will act very small and uwu. If you so happen to throw me under the bus, don't expect to heal next dungeon.
Well, that's another good way to go about it. To that extent, would you be interested in the intimidation skill? Which is exactly what you just did.
Tell me more about this
So,
skill.
if persuasion and deception are about getting people to curry favor towards you, intimidation is like you basically flexing your muscles and saying, this is how it's going to be, take it or leave it. I mean, literally what you just said, like, hey, if you throw me under the bus, it's your funeral. You know, I can just pretend to look the other direction. That is absolutely a threat against somebody's life. Like, no matter how you want to sugarcoat it, that is an intimidation.
I guess that's how it be sometimes.
Well, sure. Now, for your case, taking deception and intimidation could let you kind of do both, to where, you know, yeah, I just said this to Miyu too. You know, she has a whole thing about running cons, so that's a big deceit sort of deal. But I was telling her that, you know, if somebody calls you out on your cons or realizes that you're conning them, intimidation is a pretty good skill. Like, if you don't think you can convince them with a lie, intimidation would be where you pull out your knife and say, this is a totally legit business, or it's your body. Like, so, but the thing about intimidation that I want to warn you about is that there's not really much of a way to recover from it.
Okay.
So, like, deception, if somebody catches you lying, I mean, you can roll deception again to be like, oh, you know, I was just lying to protect you. It would get harder and harder to do, but you can do it. If you threaten someone's life, you know,
Yeah.
but intimidation is a pretty good way to get what you want. It just doesn't really curry favor. It's more focused on fear mongering, if that makes sense. Now,
Okay.
both of those are charisma based skills, and a warlock is a charisma based caster. So your charisma is going to be naturally high anyways.
Okay. I might make the gamble and go for deception,
Yeah.
because I do want to create good friends, despite everything.
Sure. If only you could choose persuasion. So, you know, imagine your party is just like, okay, Hibi, like, do we actually need to worry about this? You might want to roll like persuasion to be like, no, you know, I only did that to get like a better deal on the market. Whether or not they believe you is up to them. But you get 2 skills of your choice as a warlock.
So, I think I'm going to stick with Arcana and go for Deception.
All right. So, spells, we already sort of talked about. And then we get your patron, which, for the sake of healing, you would choose the Celestial.
Okay.
You get Light and Sacred Flame for free.
Nice.
It's not like I want to heal you or anything back. I almost said something about her being a tsundere, but this isn't kind of the, oh, you know, I'm not healing you because I need you or anything, because that's exactly what it is. It's, I'm healing you because if you go down, it's a fucking pain to heal everybody else. So I don't know if I would call that tsundere. That's just being a bitch. Like, I don't know if there's any baka to be had here.
I just gotta heal you, Mendokusai.
Mendokusai. Nah.
Mendokusai.
Oh god. This is hilarious. Okay. Alright. At first level, you gain the ability to channel celestial energy to heal wounds. Now, I talked about this before the stream, But a warlock is usually somebody that has encountered a patron, whether willingly or otherwise. In your case, you have a celestial patron that may or may not approve of the way that you're using their powers.
Oh dear.
Well, that's what I kind of want to talk about now. Like, how would you imagine your character coming about this ability? And if we want to keep to the idea that maybe you've had it all along and you kind of just realized, one way that you could say it is one of your ancestors, maybe the one with that gave you the cursed blood to make you into a shifter. So it could be like one of your parents or something. Maybe they made a deal with a creature for like temporary power or whatever, and now that deal needs to, like, you know, now it's your obligation to pay that toll. So you have these powers. Yeah. I mean, it could be that like an ancestor incurred a debt, and now that creature is like, hey, you know, if you want to keep your healing abilities, you gotta do something for me now. And maybe that's also the reason you're adventuring. So that kind of thing exists. Or it could also be that you wanted to be a healer and like help people originally, but maybe you weren't too good at magic. You know, you studied, and so you're good at Arcana, but like you just weren't good at casting magic. So one day you just made this like desperate prayer, like, please let me heal people. And so now you have made a deal with a celestial creature that allows you to heal people. But now you're kind of discovering that being a healer isn't all like, you know, sugar coats. Not everybody parades you around like maybe you originally wanted.
I didn't get the player commend.
Yeah. So now maybe you don't want the power anymore, but you've already signed the contract, so you just kind of have it.
I think the second one is really funny.
Okay, is that what you want to go with?
Yeah, it's a little funny.
All right.
A little bit of angst.
Now, the reason that this matters is that what the patron does to and around you is up to me. So your relationship with this patron is a little important because it more or less determines like how the story impacts you in particular. So things to keep in mind. Okay, so now we'll move on to abilities. Like everybody else, I will give you the option to roll 2 sets of ability scores.
Ooh, okay.
And then if they're terrible, I'll roll 2 sets, and if those are terrible, we'll take standard.
All right. I just want to let you know I have very bad RNG.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for. So go ahead and hit roll for stats. And then
so
click...
I'm going to start with standard array.
No. The ability score method, hit roll for stats first.
Oh, roll for stats. All right.
Yeah, and then you're going to click 46, drop lowest.
Okay.
We'll see what you get.
Click and drag to roll the dice.
Oh, you don't have to click and drag. You can just click it.
Oh, okay. Well, I think...
This...
Oh, that's a lot of numbers.
Well, yeah. So this is worse than average. Not by a huge amount. It's 1 point lower on the top end and 1 point higher on the high end. Actually, 2 points higher on the high end. So this is not an amazing set of stats, but if this was your stat block, it's not like you're super ineffective. So go ahead and roll again.
All right.
This is pretty fucking good.
Nice.
This, again, if you didn't have the 8, this would contend for the best stat block in the party. This is very, very much above average.
Beefy.
Yeah. So a way to think about D&D ability scores is every 2 points above and below 10 is 1 modifier. So 12 is a +1, 14 is a +2, so on and so on. And it goes the opposite way too for negatives. So that 8 is a -1. And then your 10 is a +0, your 12 is a +1, 14 is a +2, 15 is a +2, 17 is a +3. So, as I mentioned before, you are a charisma caster. So I would recommend putting the highest 17 in charisma, which because of your subrace giving you +2 dex and +1 charisma would change it to an 18 for a total of +4.
Ooh, okay.
Which is nearly as high as you could possibly get it at character creation.
I want all of the charisma. I want to be the Chad of the party.
Well, it's funny because I think every player character thus far is like decent at charisma, but you are thus far the best, which I think, depending on what type the last player chooses to do. God, I just fucking licked it. God damn it. Depending on what Taicho chooses to do, would mean that you would be the face of the party. Which is kind of funny because, I mean, imagine like the party's out looking for jobs, right? But, you know, where say Wim would ask around in the guild to be like, hey, you know, do you know of any interesting things happening around? Or we would go to like his faithful, and me would check around the back alleys. You would just go to the adventurers guild and be like, all right, who wants to not die? So that's pretty good.
Oh, this is amazing.
Okay, so your second highest stat should probably be either wisdom, intelligence, or dexterity. And I'll go into why. So wisdom is not only your character's like gut feelings, but it also determines how perceptive you are around you. Again, like how much you rely a little bit on your instincts. You can catch if people are lying to you a little bit easier. For intelligence, you know, again, since you wanted to be decent at Arcana and probably a few other things, having some good book smarts is always good. Dexterity, however, determines not only how hard you are to hit, but how fast you go in the turn order.
Okay. I'm very tempted to put dexterity as second highest when you said how hard you hit.
Well, how hard it is to hit you. It doesn't influence your damage. It influences how hard of a time others have to hit you. Which, a brief reminder, you can only wear light armor, which is mildly better than clothes. Though, that said, as you are a warlock, at second level, you will get the ability to be treated as always wearing armor, no matter what you're wearing.
Okay. Since one of my skills was Arcana, I think I should have smarts for it, yes.
Okay, so you would put the 15 in intelligence.
I don't want to be deceived by Miyu in the chance in
let's being completely honest, because she's a rogue and she's specifically good at a lot of those skills, beating her deception might be kind of hard. Now, she's not as charismatic as you, but even if your insight, or even if your wisdom was that 14, unless you're trained in the insight skill, you're never going to be like statistically higher than her.
Okay. What are the chances of her trying to deceive the party?
That's up to her. I can't say what, for one way or another. She mentioned that she likes to steal, and I said that, you know, as long as you don't steal from the party, unless it's like, you know, a dramatic roleplay thing, but don't, you know, peek into people's pockets and be like, hey, I want to take 20 gold out of Lynn's pocket or something. You know, that's stupid. But, you know, if she, for example, was like on the run from the cops and was like begging you guys that she got framed, how she might spin that is up to her. So, you know.
I guess like her benefit outweighs the demise of my own. So I will accept that.
Okay. Yeah. So, the next highest again should either be dexterity or wisdom.
might put wisdom. I mean, I want to put dexterity low just so it's like, oh well, if something hits me, I just perish. I'll just eat it.
I'll just die.
I will just die.
Well, dexterity also influences how good you are at dodging things too. So, you know, if you decide to throw a fireball down on top of everybody, including yourself.
Dodges my own AoE.
Right. But
maybe dexterity first. I can live with being dumb. I'm already dumb.
well, having a 15 in intelligence means you're pretty damn smart.
Oh, but no street smarts whatsoever.
Well, 10 is average, like the average human. If you had a 10 in every stat, yeah. So don't, yeah. An 18 is like Olympic level, and 20 and above is godly, like actually. So even though you have, like if you put the 8 in wisdom, you're only like the average human is only mildly more wise than you.
All right, that's something I can live with.
Right, which is why I said your stat block is pretty damn good, because your lowest stat is just a little bit below average.
Mm-hmm. There is strength that I see on my thing.
Yes, I imagine you don't care much about strength.
Okay. Pentamelding. I did pentameld my gear to be as high as DPS. I am hitting all of those crit rates.
Sure, but strength doesn't affect your spells.
Right. Okay. So I might put that as the very lowest.
Classic. Strength is a dump stat. So now you have a 12 and a wait a second. Hold on. Oh, right, yeah. You have a 12 and a 10. So do you want your +1 to be in wisdom or in constitution?
Constitution basically means your like base HP, right?
Yeah, it's not just base HP, but how resilient you are to things like poison and diseases.
Okay.
If you want to drink people under the table in a bar, you would alcohol is a poison.
Is there anyone in the party at the moment that can drink?
Everybody can drink. How well they drink, Weeb has pretty much everybody beaten. You would need to put your 17 in Constitution to like try and match him.
I'm not gonna give up my Chad energy to drink.
Right, that's what I'm getting at.
Might put Constitution as average.
And then the 12 in Wisdom.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm basically a nerd.
Well, you can kind of decide what that actually looks like. Charisma is a pretty interesting stat because you can describe it as maybe your character is just extremely attractive, which is what a lot of people do. But I view charisma as how willing other people are to pay attention to you, whether be it good or bad attention. So you can, maybe you're just really good at saying the right thing at the right time. Maybe your ability to pass off as, ooh, I just want to help somebody is like really cute because you're a cat girl and everybody's like, oh, it's a little baby adventurer. She's just doing her best. And then you're just like, all right, shut up, bonk. You can view yourself as kind of the more cold and calculating individual because you have a pretty high intelligence. So you're like, you are aware that you are good at like talking to people. And you have a good enough wisdom to more or less gauge what people are getting at, what they're kind of feeling. You're not super good at it, but you can get the gist. So the fact of the matter is that you just don't lift that much. Probably because it's a huge pain, whatever. You got party members to carry stuff for you.
I will definitely keep my charisma, mostly for the funny idea of just me walking straight into the adventures. Goes, all right.
Who's up? Okay, so we will move on to background.
Yes.
Background indicates what your character was doing before they became an adventurer, but kind of after their stories started.
Okay.
So probably after you gained your ability to heal people. There are quite a few options. One of the things that I would say would be potentially good for you. Actually, let me start a little bit further back. Do you imagine, like, of all the social circles that you can think of, between like nobility and government to kind of the average person to the lower class, or like to actual homeless people, or even to like monsters and kind of like remote villagers, who do you imagine your character interacting with the most?
I probably see her somewhere in like the normal class and then lower. And I do like the idea of like hidden villages.
Okay. So that removes all of these. We can put you as potentially a soldier. Maybe you signed up for like a military or a local town guard, and there was a bit of an attack there, you know. Again, the idea is as soon as you gain the ability to heal, you like, maybe you went to the military, and you were assigned the rank of medic.
Okay.
The background gives you proficiencies in the athletic skill, because no doubt you would have been drilled to like carry equipment and you know, go over rough terrain and stuff. But also it gives you intimidation. Because you were in the military, you've stared down some pretty intense dudes, and so now that you're out of it and you're an adventurer, you know, some wussy ass kid with like a knife doesn't really scare you.
Nice.
So that's an option. If you wanted to be kind of colder, a little more rough around the edges, you could also take... hold on. That's not the right one. Let's see. What would this do? Survival. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Okay, this might be a little bit of a stretch, but you could take Gladiator.
Ooh.
And the way that we would flavor it is that you're like kind of well known in the local guilds and by the common people. You're not really like a folk hero or anything. But like people talk about you a lot. Whenever you appear, you might put on like a big show of like, yeah, we did it, and stuff like that. And you know, everybody loves you. And so you get the skill of performance and one other of your choice, which can again be insight or intimidation. And the whole idea behind the performance is that it would be like a mix of performance and deception. You would kind of just put on this more or less extravagant ideal of like, you know, you're just a really talented adventurer and you're just out to help people. And people are more or less into that idea. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Another option might be... That doesn't quite work. If you wanted to be a little nerdier, you could take the sage background. You know, we sort of mentioned that you probably spent a lot of time studying magic and you just weren't any good at it, but you did study it. Well, let's look at folk hero and see if maybe we can change the way it works. well, I don't know. How do you want the people to see you? Do you want to like just be another member of like the Adventurers Guild or something? Do you offer your healing or did you offer your healing services as like a charge? Like a service that somebody could just buy?
I don't see myself as a gladiator, mostly because like people know me, right? You know?
Right.
Maybe something a little more low key, like a soldier, like a soldier medic.
Okay. So we'll go down to soldier. And soldier gives you the proficiencies for land vehicles, but if you don't want to like care about driving or something, not only because you have a party member that can do that already, but also you know, the way that you might have viewed yourself in the military could be a little different. We can change to a different tool proficiency, like, you know, if you wanted to eat people or be able to cook, having a cooking tool is also fine.
Ooh. Where do I choose that under tool proficiency?
So it would have to be something that I write in for you. Like the soldier background gives you land vehicles, but then once we're done, I can just kind of remove it and then put another tool of your choice.
Nice.
But it also gives you a gaming set. So you can choose between a dice set, dragon chess, playing card, or 3 Dragon Annie.
Mm-hmm. Is there a difference between any of these playing sets?
Not really. They're mostly for role-playing purposes. Dragon chess works exactly the same as chess, except all the pieces are dragons. And like, you know, the pawns are kobolds and stuff. Dice set are just for any dice-based game. Playing cards are pretty standard. 3 Dragon Annie, I'm told, is like a special card game. I'm not really sure how to think about it. It's a gambling game, to be sure.
Okay, I might choose the playing card set.
Okay. And then your military rank, healer.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward.
Yes.
All right. So the soldier background has like 3 main ways that you could look at it. One is kind of the strong silent type. Another is more the like proper soldier, yes sir, no sir. And then the other is big angry. And you can like mix and match these as much as you'd like.
Mm-hmm. I enjoy being strong and like breaking things.
I mean, yeah.
I guess I can stare down a hellhound without flinching.
That's a pretty good one. But you get 2 personality traits.
Either polite and respectful or crude sense of humor.
Well, I would say a crude sense of humor, since you are not always polite and respectful. The persona that you put on might be polite and respectful. The rest of you, another option is this last one. I face problems head on. A simple, direct solution is the best path to success.
Yes, I like that one.
Okay. Now your ideal, the thing that drives you to do the things that you do.
Probably live.
Live and let live. Ideals aren't worth killing over or going to war for. You're cool to just roll with the punches. You know, when somebody does something kind of weird or maybe they like express a controversial opinion where most people would be like, wow, you know, you're into that. You might just be like, yeah, you know, whatever. It's you know, I got my thing and they do theirs.
Yeah.
Bond. The thing that kind of keeps you up at night. It's like something that you actively think about pretty commonly. it's something that more or less binds you to what you do.
I guess honor is my life. Just stay alive.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
And then the
Honor
flaw.
is life.
There's probably a few of these that apply to you. Like, I have little respect for anyone that is not a proven warrior, or I'd rather eat my armor than admit when I'm wrong. My hatred of my enemies is blind and unreasoning.
Probably the little respect, because I was hovering over that for a while.
Okay. Sweet, sweet. Okay. Equipment.
Nice.
We're going to choose class equipment.
Mhm.
All right.
A light crossbow, or any simple weapon.
So, yeah, the light crossbow comes with 20 bolts, or you can choose just any simple weapon.
Probably something light.
So, light crossbow or
A dagger, perhaps?
a dagger is good.
Yes, a dagger.
All right, so a component pouch and an arcane focus. So I should talk about these a little bit. Every spellcaster needs to have an arcane focus present whenever they cast spells. For clerics and paladins, it's their holy symbol. For sorcerers, it might be like a gem at the end of their staff. It's got to be like a magical object that serves as a conduit for your energy. And a component pouch is kind of just this sack of random items. You will notice that several spells have what's called components. Verbal means that in order to cast a spell, you have to say something. Semantic means that in order to cast a spell, you have to make certain movements or hand gestures. And then there's material components. For example, the Revivify spell, the most basic way to bring back somebody from the dead, is a verbal, semantic, and material that requires 300 gold worth of diamonds. So in order to cast the spell, you have to have all of those things.
Okay.
Component pouches are treated as having every material that doesn't have a gold cost associated with it.
Okay.
By the way, both of these things are very, very cheap, so even if you don't have one or the other, it's really easy to say that you just have both. So this doesn't really matter all that much.
Okay.
However,
I think I'm still gonna put the arcane focus.
Okay. What I would like you to do is kind of describe what your focus is. Now, depending on what kind of warlock you are, which, by the way... Oh, never mind. That doesn't happen until 3rd level. You're, like... What makes... what kind of object would signify your connection with this celestial deity? What is your arcane focus?
That connects me to my deity?
Yes. Or the creature that otherwise is granting you your power. Because it doesn't have to be a god. It's just a being.
Probably something physical.
Well, I would hope so, because you have to be holding it.
Yeah.
But is it like a necklace? Is it like, a fancy jewel? Maybe it's like a one-sided mirror. Like...
Probably a mirror.
A mirror? Okay. Now, for the packs. Each pack holds an amount of equipment. A scholar's pack is for, like, it has a bunch of writing utensils and stuff, where a dungeoneer's pack is somebody who like commonly goes in and out of dungeons. which I think describes you a little bit better. But if you want me to read the specific items that each pack has in them, I can.
You did say a Dungeoneer's pack would suit me better.
I would think so.
Especially if I'm just in it for dungeon runs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, more or less.
Yeah. What's inside a Dungeoneer's pack?
Okay, let me go find it. I don't know why I'm so tired. Okay. Inside a Dungeoneer's pack is a backpack, a crowbar, a hammer, 10 pitons, 10 torches, a tinderbox, 10 rations, water skin, and a hempen rope.
Sounds well equipped. I like it.
Yeah.
Mom of the dungeon group.
Well, everybody gets to start with a pack similar to these.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just that's everything you're gonna ration out for the whole party.
Oh, nah. For the record, a scholar's pack comes with a backpack, a book of lore, ink pens, 10 parchments, a little bag of sand, and a tiny knife. And then you get to choose any simple weapon.
Okay. What do darts do? Are they actual like throwing darts?
Yep, that's exactly what they are.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna
Alright.
choose the darts, something light to bring around.
And now you can choose to have a set of bone dice or a special set of cards.
I like keeping the deck of cards.
Okay, so you have 2 decks of cards.
Yeah. I got
Okay.
2 decks of cards.
And you'll notice here it says that this is equipment from background soldier. Insignia of rank, which is pretty straightforward. A trophy taken from a fallen enemy. Now, what
Nice.
What might that be?
Probably something sentimental.
Sentimental?
Like those soldiers that bring the lockets and inside the locket is a picture of their loved ones. Yeah, probably that.
Okay, so you have like a locket from an enemy.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
It's weird, but I think it's just cool to carry around.
No, I agree. Let me write down some notes and. All right, spells. Now you get 2 cantrips and 2 first level spells. So this shouldn't take too long, but you get light and sacred flame right off the bat.
Nice.
Now, as you are a warlock, I am obligated to let you know that the cantrip that you should absolutely consider is Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
This is arguably the best cantrip in the game because of the way that it works. Basically, as an action, you kind of throw out your hand and you shoot a mote of force energy to a target within 120 feet. If you hit with the attack, because you have to roll to hit, they take 1d10 force damage. Now, every cantrip in the game scales with character level. And for every cantrip except for this one, they just get more damage. This one, however, gets more motes of force energy to throw at people. Which means that you can attack more than one target at once.
Ooh, okay.
Or you can attack the same target twice. And that's why this cantrip is highly coveted amongst most casters. And specifically as a warlock, you can get abilities that change the way that this spell works. For example, there's one that allows you to push or pull enemies closer or further away from you. There's one that you can double down on the amount of damage that it deals. You can have it shoot out to 300 feet and later 600 feet. There's, what's another one? There's an ability that makes people go slower. There's a lot of ways that you can customize it. But for a basic damaging cantrip, this is one of the best ones that you could possibly get. I should also let you know that as a warlock, this is basically your glare. You're going to be casting it a lot.
Beautiful.
No matter what cantrip you choose, you're going to be casting it a lot, because warlocks don't get too many spells and spell slots.
That's okay. Neither does white mage.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's basically the same idea. Another good option is, let's see, Sapping Sting and Toll the Dead. Sapping Sting is a single target hit within 30 feet. The enemy has to make a Constitution save, or they take 1d4 damage and they fall prone. They basically fall on their knees. So it's a decent amount of crowd control, because you have to spend actions to stand up. So hitting somebody with these would slow them down. But since you don't roll to hit, if the enemy successfully saves, they don't take any damage and you kind of waste the action.
Okay.
And then the other option was Toll the Dead. It also has a save associated with it, but what's interesting about Toll the Dead is that it deals more damage to targets that are already wounded.
Ooh.
My personal suggestions, however, would be Eldritch Blast and either Mage Hand or Toll the Dead.
Okay. What? I'm reading the Mage Hand right now.
Basically, you can spawn a hand that more or less works like the average human hand to do stuff within 30 feet of you. The hand cannot hold a weapon and it can't make attacks, but if you were sure that a door was trapped, but nobody in your party can really discern how to disarm it, casting Mage Hand to open up the door might spring the trap, but you can be 30 feet away from it.
Okay. I like the Toll the Dead.
Toll the Dead. It's a pretty good one. And then for your other choice?
Eldritch Blast.
Also an excellent choice. Let me check the range on Toll the Dead. 60 feet. Okay. It is very rare that you will encounter maps that are more than 200 feet in total distance. So Eldritch Blast will make up the good majority of things that you can do. But now let's go on to leveled spells. These are spells that consume spell slots.
Okay.
Now, Armor of Agathis is a pretty good spell. When you cast it, you get a shield of HP. Whenever an enemy attacks you in melee, when they specifically attack you in melee, if they don't break the shield, they just take 5 damage.
Okay.
You don't have to roll for damage or anything. It's very, very good if you find yourself surrounded, because attacking with ranged attacks while you're surrounded is pretty hard. And so, it doubles down on having the shield and, dealing a good amount of damage. Especially since the average HP for most creatures is 8. That means if they fail to break the shield on the first swing and they swing at you again, you will kill them without even having to do anything about it. However,
nice. Oh.
However, this spell only works against melee attacks. So people who shoot at you with bows, they don't care.
Okay. But it's still a pretty solid skill.
It's a pretty good one. But again, you only get 2 of these per rest.
I definitely want the Reverse Asylum.
Well, that's going to be a long time from now.
Nerds. Okay.
These
all start at level 1. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. The spell you're thinking of is spell level 4, which I don't think you get until character level 7. Yeah, you're 6 levels out. But any spell that instantly kills people in 10 rounds is going to be pretty strong. So another good one to think about is Hex. Hex is a debuff.
Oh, okay.
You can cast it as a bonus action, which means that you still get your standard action to, Eldritch Blast things some more. Now, what's fun about this is that there's no save associated. Whenever you use it, you pick a single target within 90 feet of you, and you force it to have a huge debuff on one attribute, be it strength, dexterity, wisdom, whatever.
Okay.
Also, anytime you deal damage to that creature, you deal additional damage.
Ooh.
Now, what's fun about this is that you can cheese a good amount of the way that things work by using Hex to, say, target somebody's dexterity. And then if you throw down an AoE that they need to dodge, they have a huge disadvantage against it. Yeah.
And then you also get your damage buff too.
Right. Now, here's what's especially funny about Hex. Remember when I mentioned that Eldritch Blast, the way that it scales is rather than just getting more damage dice, you shoot more blasts? That means that each bolt gets improved by Hex, rather than just the one. Which is how it becomes the best cantrip in the game. So Hex is pretty good, and it lasts for an entire hour.
Oh, okay.
Another pretty good one would be Magnify Gravity. It is an AoE spell. Enemies have to do a Constitution save, and if they fail, they take 2d8 damage, and their speed is halved until the next turn. By the way, 2d8 damage on average will kill any level 1 creature.
Ooh.
Because the average of that would be 8. Which is exactly your HP pool, by the way.
Okay.
And also, have speed and stuff. Even if they succeed, however, unlike most spells, they actually still take half damage. Okay, so that's an option for an early AoE.
I like Magnifying Gravity since it still takes damage regardless if it's saved or not.
Yes, guaranteed damage is always very, very good. You also have the ability to take Cure Wounds if you wanted to spend one of your precious spell slots to heal people, which of course you don't want to do. So we can pass over that. Gift of Alacrity is a spell that lasts 8 hours. It takes a whole minute to cast, so it's not something that you would do in combat, but outside of combat, you can pat somebody on the back and be like, hey, go fast. And then for the next 8 hours, that creature, which can also be you, gets an additional 1d8 to their initiative.
Oh.
So if you know a fight's going to break out, you can be like, hey, get in front of me so you can take bullets. Another good one might be Hellish Rebuke. As a reaction, whenever you get slapped, be it by a ranged attack or a melee attack, you point to that creature and then they take damage. They either take 2d10 damage or half of that even if they succeed. So it's another guaranteed damage spell. And then the last option that I would offer to you is called Protection from Evil and Good. This spell allows you to choose a type of creature. And your options are Aberrations, Celestials, Elemental, Fae, Fiends, and Undead. Which, for the start of this campaign, isn't going to be too many things, but you will eventually start running into stuff like that. You basically become extremely well defended against that particular type of creature. So it is up to you which you would like to do. Oh, I guess there's also Arms of Hadar. You basically rip a hole open in space right around you. within 10 feet of you, every creature has to make a strength saving throw. If they fail, they take 2d6 necrotic damage and can't take reactions. So that thing, like the attack of opportunity that I was talking about, they wouldn't get that.
Okay.
So if you're surrounded by dudes, this is an excellent spell, and then you can just kind of walk away from them if they... I guess people are here. But you can just kind of walk away from them.
I like Hex a lot with all of
Hex
the...
is pretty good.
Makes things pretty beefy.
It's the big meme.
Either Arms of Hadar, Hellish Rebuke, or Magnify Gravity.
Well, as a general reminder, Magnify Gravity is something that you can do at a distance. Arms of Hadar is right on top of you, always.
Okay.
You don't get hit by it. So it's like a donut AoE around yourself.
Oh, okay.
But again, friendly fire is always on. So if somebody else is running up to heal you and you're just like, oh, don't hurt me. So there's that. But I mean, you also have more than one melee character in this party. So lobbing Magnify Gravity might be a little disingenuous as well. Unless you're willing to damage them and promise to heal them later, because it's worth it. I'm just saying. That's
this is tricky with friendly fire.
Yeah. Yeah, AoEs are really, really good. They're very, very powerful. Your allies tend to agree a little less.
I am the healer, though.
You are the healer.
Maybe Arms of Hadar.
Okay.
Or I like Hellish Rebuke though.
Hellish Rebuke.
Which one was the donut AoE?
Arms of Hadar.
Okay, I do like Arms of Hadar. Maybe this will be like the last resort.
You just run in there and just
Yeah.
All right.
I'll deal with the collateral damage later.
All right. Sounds good. So you're good with Toll the Dead and Eldritch Blast as your cantrips. Again, these are the spells that you're going to be casting 9 times out of 10. And then for your leveled spells, when things get a little dicey, your bigger cooldowns as they are. The Arms of Hadar and Hex.
Yes.
Alrighty. So then we're going to hit next. You don't have any feats to worry about. Bio is something that you can fill out on your own time.
Okay.
It's things like, your age, your height, your weight, all that good stuff. So then after that...
yes, waifu stats.
Yeah, after that, go ahead and hit review and then apply changes. And let me know when you've done all that.
Nice. She's here.
Yeah, and now the only thing that we need to change is you mentioned that you didn't really care about land vehicles. So let's look at tool proficiencies. Other things that you might want.
You did something about me eating people, and I might need a cooking set for that.
Do you want to be into a cooking set?
I like my people gourmet, yes.
Okay. All right. Give me just a second. I'm gonna edit your sheet. Get rid of that, and then. Oh.
If my party members act up, I can just threaten them like, "Oh, don't make me eat you."
You know what's funny? People might laugh at that first, and then if they see you eating somebody.
See, I always get away with things because I always eat the witness.
Yeah. Where are the chef's tools? What the heck? All right. Here's what we'll do. There we go. All right, you now have chef's tools.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and you are totally ready.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you for helping me build.
Sure. So, oh, you have 2 uses of your healing ability.
Ooh.
All right. So, we're gonna go ahead and close this and go back here. So, I will ask you the same question that I've asked others. Based on the concept that you that we came up with before, how faithfully do you think that we were able to get it?
I think you fleshed out my character really well. I didn't expect her to have this much personality, but I'm really happy with it.
Hey, that's what it's all about, you know.
You got my asshole personality spot on.
Well, I wouldn't say I had anything to do with that, but I won't say that in polite company. All right. Well, do you have outstanding questions?
Not at the moment, but I'll let you know if anything comes up.
Not. Okay. I got you. Does anybody in the chat have questions for Hibi or her bizarro character? Oh, man.
You didn't expect this, huh?
I had an idea, like I knew ahead of time that you were gonna want to be a healer, and I fell for your character's trap. You know, I thought that you were gonna want to be the pure precious type that just wants to help everybody. But as soon as you mentioned to me about like the salty MMO, and I was like, I see how this ends up. I didn't expect you to actually want to eat people. That's a new one.
Oh, I thought it was a funny add-on when you said, "Oh yeah, like a maid that eats people." Oh hell yeah, I want to eat people too.
Well, yeah, you know, I play in this starter game to help 2 other players get accustomed to D&D, and so I'm playing the party's like skill bot. I'm trained in every kind of skill. And then my lord that I'm attached to is like this paladin that just beats the crap out of people. And so the 2 of us can basically solo the campaign, so you know the others can learn at their own pace. But like, you know, oftentimes we're in survival situations, and we can't really eat much. So I'll be like, oh, I'll go into town and fetch for some food. I'll be back in a few hours. And it's not strange for me to go out and assassinate somebody, chop them up, bring them back in a bag, and cook them. And like the whole party is like, wow, this is really good. What is it? Oh, you know, it's some animals that I found. And that's that. They don't know the difference.
Sometimes eating people is part of D&D. It's part of the experience.
Yeah, it's
Life's hard out there. Life's hard out there. Sometimes you have to budget. Murder is free.
I just want to let you know that, you know, the average person is not going to be cool with you eating people. That's a big no-no in most towns. Now, the cult of the dragon.
It's gonna be like a thing where you bring like a little spray bottle. Like, no, Hibi, don't eat that person in town.
Well,
bad Hibi.
Well, that's up to the party. The town might arrest you, but you know, the cult of the dragon or similar communities might put on their thinking emojis and be like, wait, she's got the right idea. What if we just ate people? We'd never go hungry again. So, you know, it takes all kinds.
It's like one of the things that, oh, wow, thank God she's on our side. To an extent.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not going to stop her from eating you, but...
Just as a reminder, your party members are just as capable of healing as you are, generally speaking. So, you know, if it so happens they're just like, Hibi, you've got to stop eating people. and then if you try and threaten them with like, well, then I'm not gonna heal you. Well, maybe one of them is like, okay, well, I'm not gonna heal you either.
Oh.
Well, now it's become complicated.
D&D drama. Hibi just won't stop eating people.
Just-
Well, it's not gonna be my like only diet. Aren't
Local
I eating
cat
people?
girl can't stop
Can't.
eating people.
It's not like I'm eating people 24/7. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go hunt. No, I imagine like eating people is kind of like a last resort. Like, we ran out of our rations,
Yeah, Wim's got a point. Everybody except for Miyu is capable of healing.
so we eat Mew. I'm not gonna eat Mew.
Okay. All right. Well, on that bombshell, I think we're gonna wrap up the stream.
Okay.
All right.
You learn something new about your friends every day.
Yeah. We'll go with that one. All right. So now we come to the point of the stream where
Yes,
where you get
yes.
to do the outro. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell me about this. Oh.
It's been in every one of these so far. I thought you said you watched them.
I did, but I never watched it till the end. I'm sorry.
See.
Oh, go man. Okay,
Well,
anyways, thank you for dropping by to Kagerou Ootori's stream. It's been very fun, and thank you for having me. And we're very excited for the next episode.
that's not even close to what I was talking about. That's a way better outro than what everybody else did. I was just gonna, say no, and then we'd be Kagerou.
Kagerou.
It's supposed to be simultaneous.
Okay. Countdown on 3.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Kagerou. Hi, arigato. Oh my god. Okay, all right. Let's get out of here. God,
Yeah.
he's gonna eat me.
Kicks me out of your gamer chair.
No. No. All right.
Alright, bye-bye.
Bye bye.